John 14 picks up right after Judas Iscariot has left from Passover dinner. And all the disciples are shook because they're starting to realize that Jesus is not going to be around forever. Look at what it says in verse 2. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? And verse 4 leads us to what I believe is Jesus' most direct teaching, which says, and you know the way to where I am going. So then Thomas says to Jesus, we don't know where you're even going. How could we possibly know the way there? Jesus said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. This is a very bold claim because all throughout the Gospels, Jesus has been performing miracles and giving glory to the Father, saying that the Father has sent him. In this sentence, Jesus is claiming exclusivity. Here's what I mean by that. If he's lying, that means he'd be leading people astray from God and not a prophet at all, because he'd be a false prophet. All other religions have their ways of making it to heaven, and most other religions recognize Jesus in some sort of way, whether it's a prophet, a teacher, a healer, whatever it is, but they all recognize him as someone who's doing great things. But Jesus himself claims the way to God. If Jesus was actually just a great moral teacher, wouldn't that actually be immoral to lead people away from God, claiming to be the way, knowing you weren't? The chapter continues with Philip asking Jesus to show them the Father. And Jesus says to Philip, I've been with you this whole time and you still don't get it? He says, whoever has seen me has seen the Father. I am in the Father and the Father is in me. But I really want to pause on verse 15, which says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. It's very easy to say you love God, but your actions speak a totally different game. Isaiah 29:13 says this, and the Lord said, because this people draw near with their mouth and honor me with their lips, while their hearts are far from me, and their fear of me is a commandment taught by men. Saying you love God is great. That means you have the head knowledge to know that he exists. But to have the actions that prove your faith shows that you have the heart transformation that makes your claims of loving God genuine. And look at what Jesus says in verse 23. If anyone loves me, he will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home with him. That's why James 2:26 says this, for as the body apart from the spirit is dead, so also faith apart from works is dead. And please make sure you understand what I'm saying. Your works are not what saves you. They are what prove that you are saved. So I pray that you sit with this video a little bit longer than some of the other ones and allow the Holy Spirit to convict you with where your actions are not lining up with your words, because we all fall into that trap in some way, shape, or form. I pray you know that God has the patience, grace, and mercy to allow you to walk through the process of sanctification, which means becoming more and more like Jesus every day, and we're not perfect, but allow the Holy Spirit into those areas to start your course correction. I pray you got a lot out of this video, and I will see you tomorrow for day 15, where we will learn just a little bit more about who Jesus was, why his life matters, and how it applies to you. God bless.